Imagine you're standing on a train platform. You're looking at a machine that weighs 200 tons, moving at 80 miles per hour. Now, look at what's holding it up. It isn't a high-tech suspension system or a massive concrete foundation. It's a pile of loose, jagged rocks. If you spent just one afternoon removing those stones from a small section of the track, the very next train wouldn't just rattle. It would trigger a catastrophic chain reaction. We are betting billions of dollars and millions of lives every single day on a pile of gray stones that most people think is just gravel. But if you look closer, you'll realize these stones are the only thing stopping the Earth from swallowing the global economy whole. To understand why we need them, you have to understand a struggle that's been happening for 200 years. The tension between heavy steel and soft dirt. A fully loaded freight train is so heavy it actually warps the ground beneath it. Without those stones, the pressure is so intense it turns solid earth into something resembling liquid. But here is where it gets weird. You might think, why not just use a solid slab of concrete? That seems more modern, right? Well, there is a fatal flaw in concrete that would cause the rails to bend dangerously during a heat wave. We'll get to that mysterious physics problem in a second. Notice the shape of these rocks. They aren't round like the ones you find in a river or a garden. They are sharp and jagged. This is by design. If you used smooth stones, the vibration of the train would act like a giant vibratory plate, making the stones roll over each other. The track would literally slide off its path. Engineers call this interlocking. When you pack these jagged edges together, they bite into one another. They create a base that is solid enough to support a 1,000,000-pound locomotive, yet flexible enough to breathe. If the track couldn't breathe, the vibration would shatter the steel rails like glass. You are looking at a living, moving foundation that relies on friction to keep everything stable. Now, let's talk about the railroad's greatest enemy, water. If a track sits on dirt or concrete, rain creates puddles. Puddles create mud. Mud creates a vacuum that sucks the track down into the abyss. These stones act as a massive 1,000-mile-long drainage system. They ensure that even during a storm, the foundation stays dry. And because there's no soil on the surface, plants can't grow. If a single tree root managed to get under those tracks, it could lift a 50-ton rail and displace a high-speed train. The stones are a protected zone by design. The most shocking part? We didn't even invent this for trains. The word ballast comes from the golden age of sailing. Centuries ago, sailors realized that an empty ship was unstable. It would tilt too easily in the wind. To stay balanced, they filled the bottom of the ship with heavy stones to lower the center of gravity. When early railroad pioneers were struggling to keep their tracks from sinking into the mud, they looked at the piles of rocks left behind by ships in the harbor and realized they had found the golden metric of engineering. They took a maritime safety secret to build the land-based world we live in today. So, the stones are the silent heroes of the industrial world. But while these rocks protect us from gravity and water, there is another mystery lurking inside your own home that is even more deceptive. This is our first journey together on this channel, and I've been saving a specific story for the next episode. It's about a common household object, something you probably touched this morning, that was actually designed by brilliant engineers to survive the most extreme conditions imaginable. If you want to see the world through a lens that most people are completely blind to, you need to be here for that. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell, because once you see what's coming next, you'll never look at your kitchen the same way again. I'll see you in the next story.